switch the music off. I don't know. It's nice to be here. I can't see any of you, so don't be afraid to laugh. Oh, they said, Thomas, it's Halloween, you gotta do something scary on stage. And I was thinking, isn't that scary enough to have a German comedian on stage? Yeah, so, no? Yeah, you wanna have scary? I can give you scary. Hugo knows that I like to kill on stage. So close the exit, turn on the gas. Yeah, and some people like me to bomb on stage. I call these people the Brits, because the Brits are used to German bombing. Yeah, Halloween. In Germany, you know, we don't really celebrate Halloween. We don't need to, because we have Oktoberfest. Yeah. Oktoberfest, we have tourists. Instead of monsters or witches, we have tourists. And they dress in our traditional outfit, you know, with our lederhosen, leather pants. And they can't hold their beer, and they piss and puke everywhere. And if you want to see something really scary, just imagine a Japanese tourist wearing lederhosen. That is scary. Yeah. See, in Germany, when we think about Halloween, we actually think about an episode of Charlie Brown and the Peanuts. Is that familiar, Charlie Brown and the Peanuts? Yes. Come on, wake up. Yes. It's an American cartoon, and there we have Charlie Brown sitting at night in the field or his garden of his parents. And he was waiting for, you know, the orange pumpkin to arrive. And we all have this picture in our head in Germany. And the other day, in the rose garden of the White House, everybody waited for the other pumpkin to arrive. The trumpkin. Yeah, and the difference between a pumpkin and a trumpkin is that a pumpkin is not infectious. But there's this other cartoon that I really liked. American cartoon about Halloween. So imagine there's a couple standing in front of the door, and there are 3 children doing trick or treat. Okay? So the first child is dressed as a bitch, which happens every time I tell this joke. So the first kid is dressed as a witch. Then we have a vampire, and then we have the third kid dressed in the white gown of the Ku Klux Klan. So says the husband to the wife, says like, oh look how cute they are. We have a witch, a vampire, and a Trump supporter. Oh my God, yes. So we don't celebrate Halloween, yeah, because we celebrate something different in Germany. On November the 11th, so that's 11/11, not 9/11, 11/11 at 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 minutes and 11 seconds, every year starts Fasching. I know what you're thinking right now, but no, Fasching has nothing to do with fascism, okay? Those were the days. No. Fasching is the German word for carnival, okay? And let me explain this. Carnival means basically say goodbye to the meat, okay? Because we have this carnival season, and then after that we have Lent. And Lent is the time for fasting and being polite. So you could say it's kind of like a Christian Ramadan, right? Okay, so we need to prepare for this fasting. And so we normally do some debauchery and all of that. And we in Bavaria, we celebrate basically by drinking beer. So we get pissed every single day from November the 11th. And there are some other nations, they also prepare for it, but they only prepare for one day, and this day is called Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, right? It's at the end of February, beginning of March, depending. But we are Germans, so we can't prepare just for one day for good behavior. We take 4 months. 4 months of drinking and dressing up, and anything goes, because people don't know who you are, because you are in disguise. And yes, it gets interrupted a little bit. There's Christmas, where we then drink mulled wine, warm wine, and then we have New Year's Eve, where we drink champagne, but then we get back to the real stuff, to the beer. And we get drunk. When we do this until Mardi Gras, and the next day is Ash Wednesday, okay? And this is the first day of Lent, so we don't drink. And we pay dearly for it, because we are hungover. We have a headache from all this drinking, unbelievable. And we Germans, we are weak people. We don't like headaches. So luckily in Bavaria, the monks came and helped out, so we don't have headaches. Because the monks said, it says in the Bible that you shouldn't eat well during Lent, but it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that you can't drink well. So they brew this double, triple strength beer for the Lent season, and I'm telling you guys, when you drink that beer on an empty stomach, hallelujah! You can see angels sing, you can see angels sin. Because we said goodbye to the meat doesn't mean that we say goodbye to the flesh. Yeah, so these strong beer festival parties, they are mayhem. Inhibitions are gone, we are so drunk. Birth control has left the building. Things happen, unbelievable. And to celebrate this, when you're so drunk, we need a little bit of help. So I'm going to spoil something for you now as well. You know Humtata music? Yeah? Humtata, the Bavarian music? This got invented on the start beer festivals. Because when you're so drunk and you want to do your, fornication, it's all about rhythm, so you need help. So they invented the Humtata music. And it goes like, Humtata, 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 Humtata. And we don't have tourists there, because, the smell of vomit while you're doing stuff like that is not a good idea. Because we know the tourists can't, the normal beer, they can't cope with it, and if you drink that sharp beer, then no, we don't want that. Tourists are allowed. So this stupid stuff goes on for 46 days until Easter comes. When Easter comes, things have changed in Germany. The weather got warmer, and we go and drink al fresco. The beer garden season has started. So we are out there with our family, with our wife, and the children, and the still unborn children. And under the shade of the chestnut trees, you can see angels zooming back and forth. But we don't call them angels, we call them Angie. Angie, come here, I need a beer. That's the beer waitresses. And then it gets a little bit warmer, and then the beer festival season starts. Intense. And there's something I have to say here, because especially you Brits, you have no bloody idea. The word Stein is not existing in German language, okay? We have in Bavaria a Maß beer. A Maß is 1 liter of beer. It's a measure word, it's 1 liter. And we have a half, eine halbe, okay? That's a pint. But if you go into a beer festival, never, please never try to order a pint. Because Angie, the beer waitress, will tell you exactly this. She will look at you and she will go like, a pint? Grow up until you can drink a full one. That's what they do, because pints are for women and children. Yes. That's very interesting. So the thing is, in beer tents, it gets really tense sometimes, and a lot of fights break out. That's tradition. And when there is a fight and we want to stop the fight, we just pour a lot of beer onto the fighters, onto the idiots, and stop the fight. So the breweries really like that, because this way they sell a lot of beer. And also, the guy then with the broken nose, we buy him the beer, because actually we are friendly people. We are barbarians and not barbarians. Yeah, and one day a tourist from Berlin came to the Oktoberfest, and we don't like people from Berlin, full stop. It's true. And a fight broke out, and somebody hit the guy with a mace over the head. Didn't have a concussion, but he broke his skull. And so he sued. And the judge dismissed the case by saying, when you go to a beer festival, you should never go to a beer festival when you know that you have a soft skull. Yeah, so beer festival season then goes until the end of September, and it finishes with a big one, which you know as the Oktoberfest, okay? And then you think that we stop drinking? Bullshit. The wine festival season starts. The new wine comes out, gets drunk. Unluckily, in this time of the year, we still have a lot of tourists, and wine is stronger than beer. So we decided to make these festivals on market squares, because the vomit is easier to hose down the next day. Yeah. Halloween is a festival that we do not like to do in Germany, and the reason is because Halloween is a festival without alcohol. And look at me, you know, I am not the most beautiful person on earth. The Germans are not the most beautiful people on earth. We need alcohol when we celebrate, because we have to drink ourselves beautiful. We are lucky, because in Germany beer does the trick. Other nations need stronger stuff, because they're more ugly. The French, for example, they need wine. And the Russians, they need vodka. But I understand the women. When the men all look like Putin, you need the strong stuff. So ugly people need alcohol to celebrate, so to drink themselves beautiful. So then the most beautiful people on this planet are people who never drink alcohol. We call them Muslims. The most beautiful people. Proof is in the pudding. They have a lot of children, and multiple wives also can. And they dedicate a lot of time to that. That's why they have to pray and stretch at the same time. Okay, before I go, the next comedian on stage is Garu. Okay? And he's a Bangladeshi, and he is a Catholic Bangladeshi. And he grew up in Canada as a child. Do you want to hear a story about Garu and Halloween? Yeah. Okay, here's Garu and Halloween. On Halloween, Garu's father made Garu to dress up for trick-and-treating every year as a clown. And he told him a poem as well that he had to recite every time somebody opened the door. So you have little Garu as a clown standing there and saying, I am a clown and I am brown. I am from Bangladesh, so give me cash. Okay guys, Garu and me, we are coming to you, right? We are called the executive comedians because Garu, you will see, he kills on stage and I am the German eyeball. Good night.